Yes, hello, Wagwan. Yeah, like, subscribe, and look up the bell. Um, yeah, I'm tired, man, because I had 3 bottles of red wine while watching that rubbish show last night. You know, I mean, it was the first like half decent fight this year, and yeah, disappointed. I mean, the worst thing was the undercard. I mean, it was terrible, man. That women's boxing and that Clarissa Shields, like Adam Smith's going, she's a superstar. She's throwing the glitter of superstardom all over Cardiff. She was awful, man. Like, like the level of women's boxing, and it will get better one day, but the level of women's boxing at the moment is like, a club male amateur with a few fights, even a weight below would knock out Clarissa Shields, and it's embarrassing, man. Watching her like shoe shine some rug muncher from Slovenia or Slovakia or something, the typical, some fat rug muncher. Come on, man. And they're telling, how can they sell us this turd, man, and tell us it's gold, They have these awful fights, and they go, "Oh, it's the Katie Taylor is the Mayweather of boxing, iconic Irish star, and blah blah blah," and they're so poor, man. Obviously the rounds are only 2 minutes, but they haven't got the strength to hurt each other half the time. Although I enjoyed seeing Terry Harper get like statued and zombified by that American black woman, Baumgartner or something. Yeah, it was funny watching that Clarissa Shields fight. Like at one point, about one of the few shots that the Slovenian rug muncher landed was like a low blow. I mean, and it wasn't hard. And it's like Shields is like complaining to the ref, hey, tapping her waistband. That was low. And you're like, well, yeah. What does it matter, man? You've got a fanny, man. You haven't got balls. It's not really going to hurt you. Plus, it was only the waist. I mean, maybe Clarissa has got balls, She looks like Michael Nunn to me. But anyway, it's pathetic. And the the fake beef at the interview with them allegedly rowing, yo, how many gold medals you at? How many gold medals you got? All that stuff. And it's just pathetic, man. It's just it's awful, man. Worse than WWE. And then we had to sit through Daniel Dubois' sister. I mean, again, a very novice-y kind of fight. Went the distance predictably. And they rolled out this kind of Ivan Drago lookalike, which is his gimmick. This Steve Robinson dude from Newcastle, I think. He looks, he's quite a good-looking guy. He's sellable, but, he can't fight. To be honest, I was quite impressed by his chin. He just looked like he had a David Price chin. Every time he got hit, his like blonde hair is going boof, boof, in the air like he's wearing a wig or something. And, getting rocked by this guy who's out of shape, who's basically just a sort of brawler. But at least they gave that dude, Shane Gill, I think his name is, they gave him the decision. So that's one thing. So I mean, that was just dry, man. And I had to drink to enjoy it. And then they wheeled out Chris Eubanks, Now, I find weird is why Chris Eubanks Sr. changed his name from Eubanks, which is what his brother's names are, Simon and Peter Eubanks, to Eubank. I don't understand. I mean, it's kind of a bit disrespectful to them. I mean, like, he doesn't want to be associated with them. And his son has taken the same surname, Eubank. And weirdly, also on the card, there was Harlem Eubank, who is the son of one of the brothers, who's a cousin of Chris Eubank Jr. But he calls himself Eubank instead of Eubanks, which is what his dad's called. I mean, obviously he's just doing it for the name value, but it's just so lame, man. And then you got Chris Eubank Jr. coming out. I don't know, like he's wearing some kind of Santa Claus outfit. He looks like Santa Claus, and we're like months after Christmas. I don't know what that's about. And, you know, he's been cocky and all that, blah, blah. There was some beef before. And he bangs Liam Williams, who I thought had a great chin and probably does, but he bangs him with a jab and puts him over a few times. The weirdest thing was Adam Smith going, "Oh, and it's not looking good. He's blinking." Liam Williams always blinks, man. Watch him in interviews and he's blinking. Are they going to stop the interview because he's blinking? He's got this twitch thing. But it was a weird shot. It wasn't that solid, and the shots that put him over were not that great. But I thought Williams, he just looks like he's got a great chin. He's got this massive head, yeah. And usually people with huge heads can really take a punch. Like, you know, Chris Eubank Sr. has got this big cannonball head. Oliver McCall, big head. Jake LaMotta, huge head. Yeah. So usually people with big heads can really take a shot, but for some reason Williams looked chinny here. It might just be that he was caught cold before, you know, he properly warmed up, and that can happen. You get caught cold, but once you're warmed up, you take the shots better. But I was really surprised to see him go down, although Eubank, you know, is naturally the bigger man. You could see that. He weighed in a bit heavier, and also he looks way bigger. And the fight kind of, the fight of two halves, like Adam Smith would say, you know. Eubanks dominated the early stuff with their knockdowns, and then the second half, Williams came on, hit him a lot. Eubanks was just doing that stupid showboating stuff with a smile and the hands open and talking, but he was getting hit. You know, all that stuff about Eubanks going, "Oh yeah, I decided to punish him, and you know, I wanted to make him pay because I don't like him," and blah blah. Come on, man, you just ran out of steam. And, you know, you were probably a bit freaked out. You couldn't get Williams out, you know. And even with the fake knockdown in the 11th round, which was clearly a slip, Eubanks just, I don't know, man, he seemed to gas a bit. And you know, his posturing and his smiling was just, it doesn't win you points, man. You've got to hit someone in the face to win points. And the guy I feel really sorry for at the end of the day in this fight was, there's one guy, a fan of his, I'll get his tweet up, and he was like going, "I put on my life savings on you, Chris, to win by stoppage." And Chris Eubank's like, "Yeah, now that's what you call belief," or something like that, you know, like, and well then, why didn't you jump on Williams and stop him? This poor guy's put his entire savings on you, right, to stop him, and allegedly, no, you don't care about that poor man. You know, you care about, oh, I'm going to punish Williams till the end. Well, then why didn't you stop him in the 11th when you got the fake knockdown, or the 12th? Because you were gassed, really. I don't think it was a bad performance by Eubank, but it was mainly just because he caught Williams early, and Williams wasn't, I don't know, warmed up properly or something. He was nervous. There was something, because I'm sure Williams, with that huge head, can take a shot, you know. I don't think he's been put down before, you know, even with the weight difference, the natural weight difference that Eubank has as an advantage. I still thought he went over quite easily, but it wasn't a terrible performance. But you know, it was a very, very dry, very unexciting. Big Nights boxing, you know, and it's basically the first British show of the year, and so hyped, and all we hear is Claressa Shields, superstar. Oh, she's transcended the sport of boxing. She is a genuine global superstar. Yeah, right, Adam. You know, go talk to anyone in the street, they'll have no idea. And she's so whack, man. She can't punch. She just pushes out these light punches, beating up other rubbish women, you know, mostly rug munchers from what I can see, you know, and then they claim, oh, she's the GWOAT, and not that means anything. The greatest woman of all time in boxing is like rubbish, and they're building up this super fight with what's her name, Savannah Marshall, who's okay. At least she could punch a little bit, you know, and it's It's cringe, and they'll put it on pay-per-view, and they will convince you to buy it. And nobody would buy that nonsense usually, but the hype gets to people. And I'll stick on a couple of half-decent male fights on the undercard so that some people will buy because of that. And we'll have to sit through this absolute nonsense of hearing Adam Smith telling you how this is the greatest women's fight of all time. It's like Ali Frazier, isn't it, Matthew? Oh, you just want to, like, twist that man's head off, man. No one likes him, man. But, whatever. Anyway, increase the peace.